You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
So we're now joined with Jane Pitt. We're out and about here at BRFM. We're on board LV21. And Jane, it's good to speak to you again.
Hi Daniel, nice to speak to you. Last time we were on the Edith May.
Yes, it seems a while ago now.
Yeah, that was a couple of years, I think. Yeah.
Now, this project that you're currently doing is to do with the Fuse Festival, but I was wondering if you could explain to our listeners what it's all about.
Well, Fuse Festival commissioned me to make this project called Radiozound. It's about some of the unheard sounds and sounds we don't think about in Medway. Sounds that you could hear in other places, but this time ones that are very specific to certain places. And I've created some of the programs with people and artists of Medway, and also had submissions from sound artists in Medway, Kent, and across the southeast region. So now that's made up 5 hours of content. We just wanted to have an event that was slightly different to the street performance stuff, which is great and celebratory, but obviously have something that people can come, gather, immerse themselves in some sounds or some words. So I, for example, went and met a beekeeper called John Chapman from the Medway Beekeepers Association, and he opened a hive for us. So I was able to put small microphones inside a hive, and he talked us through the whole process of beekeeping. So it's been a mixture of these kind of slightly eclectic but and slightly unusual recordings, field recordings and process recordings, but also with words of the people that we met. So the beekeeper, also Spooner the tuner, the amazing 86-year-old pianist.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that you kind of discover those sounds as you're walking round LV21. Has that sort of played a part in influence, or is that just a good place for people to listen to them?
Well, the main reason that we're on LV21 is because of the wonderful thing of Colin, the radio expert, who I met probably a couple of years ago now, and I've wanted to do a project with him somehow since then. We've talked about Morse. I did make some programs with him as well, where he sang some sea shanties and translated them into Morse. But because he has his amateur radio licence, and he's an incredibly clever man, we've worked with him to do this incredible. It's very short range transmission for this time, but we're hoping that we can work together in the future. So really, he comes with the ship, but the ship also happens to be the most amazing place to have an event. It means that there are different spaces in which to listen. You can be outside listening to sounds from a completely different place, while you're also listening to the sounds of this place. But also, when you enter into the bowels of the ship, you can hear the same sounds that you've just heard on deck, but in a resonant space, a more enclosed space. So that changes how that might make you feel about the sound, or makes you more focused. And there's also been a photographer working with me, so he's been covering the visual elements so there are slideshows showing of all the people that we worked with.
Now, I understand that these sounds that are being played out today are available online through a website. I was wondering if you could let our listeners know how they can access that.
Okay, well, they've been it's been quite ephemeral. This week I've had a different daily podcast. From last Saturday till Thursday, we had 7 podcasts, and they were only available for a day. Wanted it to be quite fleeting. And then today there's a webcast going out live simultaneously to the on-ship, the round ship. We're calling it round ship radio because it very literally is around the ship. And there will be online at www.janepitt.co.uk/Radiozound, which is RADIOZOUND. We will make all of it available via links on the website. That won't be immediately, that will probably be next week. So that sounds a bit vague, but we've just had to get some extra hosting for it. But you can visit the webpage at any time and see photographs. There's a lot of really beautiful photographs from the project.
Well, Jane, I certainly enjoyed coming around and having a listen to those sounds. So thank you very much for giving me the chance to do that, and also speaking to us here at BRFM.
It was lovely. Thank you, Daniel. It's always good to meet you.